And welcome back here to TommyBoxing, and today we got to talk about Misfits Duel number 2 happening this Saturday, and it's honestly a really stacked card, a hidden gem if I say honestly. I wish there was more promotion from the other fighters and from the promotion team itself. They did a pretty solid job as much as they could, but regardless of the marketing and promotion, this is an amazing card. This is a huge sleeper card if you guys aren't in tune. We got Carla Jade. We got Ty Mitchell going against Gabriel Rosado. Are you kidding me? You got Temple Arts back in here. Then you got Waleed Sharks and Argentinian King. Jade Jones making her debut. This is a pretty great card, and I'm very excited to watch it. So I want to give my full card prediction on this. One of the first fights we have is Jade Jones versus Egypt Chris. Now, I don't know too much about Egypt. Honestly, I don't know anything beyond she was supposed to fight Krishan Rock, but I guess it fell through. And she's also Peppa from Salt and Peppa's daughter, so that's pretty cool. But beyond that, I don't know much about her. She's jacked and stacked and ready to go. She got the gains on her, that's for sure. She ain't missing a day of creatine. On the other side, we have Jade Jones. Comes from the Olympic background, gold medalist in Taekwondo, so she has combat sport experience. That's an edge to her already, but it's Taekwondo, very different postures, procedures, different everything. But you know how it feels to get punched in the face on a high level. Looking at this, I think the only time Miss Chris has some time to win is the first round. That's when she's going to be freshest. But I think as the rounds go on, I don't know how many rounds it is, by the way, but I think as the rounds go on, she's going to deplete. She's going to get sloppy. And I think Miss Jones is going to take the W via decision. I've seen her on pads. She looks pretty great. Still would like to see a little more power on those punches. But hey, it's neither here or there. So I'm going with Jade Jones via decision. Next, we got Queen herself, Killer Carla Jade, going against Pearl Gonzalez for the Misfits Women's Middleweight World title. And she's jumping up a class. She's trying to become a double champ. I know the hoopla with this fight is she's going up a weight class. Is she going to handle it? Is she moving up too much? But honestly, how I look at it, and I don't know how anyone would take this, but I'll speak from my personal experience. As I've gotten older, through all the weight cuts, it gets harder and harder to go as low as I can, just because your metabolism, your body reacts different. It's just a whole thing with your system as you grow and as you get older. I also think there's going to be a big benefit for Carla to go up a weight class. I think it's actually probably been a detriment to her, some of her performances. Granted, she hasn't lost, but I think it's been some detriment to performance of doing those harsh cuts, and you have to make a weight cutting camp instead of a boxing focused camp. And I've been there before, and it sucks, and you'd rather learn your sweet science than worry about where you're at on the scale. So this is a huge benefit for Carla. But Pearl ain't no easy walk in the park. She's going to stand and bang. She has some serious combat experience. She's done it all. So she has some serious combat background behind her. So this is going to be a very hard test for Carla. I do see Carla losing the first round. I really do. She's a slow starter. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm a slow starter. Another person who was a slow starter but was Anisan Gibb. He's notorious for losing the first round and then getting all the other ones, just because you got to read your opponent and stuff like that. And I assume it's going to be at least 5 rounds. I hope. I see it going in Carla's favor throughout the fight. As Pearl goes through the later round, she does get a little more sloppy, opens herself up for opportunities for her opponent to land something. Not devastating, but scoring. It could be devastating. Who knows? You know, it's a puncher's chance on every fighter, no matter what. So I see Carla taking the W, honestly, via decision. I think Pearl's going to get the first round or two, varying how many rounds and stuff like that. I don't know. But I do see Carla taking over the fight, overwhelming her, and getting the better of the punches landed / combination. I'm excited for this fight. But yeah, Carla Jade via decision. Next, we got Waleed Sharks and Argentinian King. Now, this one was a weird one because it was originally Fox to G, because they said, oh, all the stuff going on in the Middle East, Waleed was unable to make it, best wishes, blah, blah, blah. But then they're like doing this whole weird surprise thing, like, whoa, Waleed's here, and the crowd was silent. It felt a little cringe, but it is what it is. But yeah, Waleed's a technician. Waleed's a very good technician. Argentinian, also a pretty solid, great technician, but has some great pop in his shots as well. I think this is a really 50-50, 60-40 fight. I edging it towards Waleed. I really see Waleed taking it to decision. It's hard to predict. It really is hard to predict. This is a close fight, so I'm going with Waleed Sharks via split decision, though. I think it's going to be a very, very close match. A lot closer than people are giving credit for. Then we have Jordan Banjo and Tempo Arts. Tempo Arts is back, and I love that. I love this kid. Young kid, chased his dream, achieved it, took some time away, and, started a family. I have a family. I got a baby. I got a wife. Like, I get it. So, like, I see a lot of myself in Tempo as, chasing a dream and achieving it, and a great technician. I think he's actually the most technical heavyweight in the Misfits scene, without a doubt, in my opinion. With that being said, Jordan ain't no walk in the park either. I keep saying that reference, but these are all true to every person I said about in this matchup. Like, this isn't no A-side type of thing. Maybe minus the Jay Jones and Egypt Chris fight. That's definitely that's a pretty easy pick in my opinion. With Jordan Banjo and Tempo Art, Jordan's gonna come and bang. Yes, he gassed real bad in his fight previously, but in that initial couple rounds, he was not playing around. He's very dangerous, got a lot of power. Big boy, too. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". He's big. But Tempo's faced that. He fought Chase Demore. He went to a draw with him. He can face that type of adversity. It's not a phase to him. I do see this being a very, very dangerous fight for Tempo. He's been on the couch for a while. He's still been training, getting ready, being healthy and stuff like that. But I can speak from experience. When my son was born and he was fresh out the oven, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of time with the family. You don't get to train. You don't get to do content. You have to really commit yourself to that time, which nothing bad, obviously. You should be doing that, as did I. But the point I'm getting at is it's hard to kind of come back. It took me a really while. And when I did my first weight cut back off my paternity leave, so to speak, from boxing, it was really, really hard. I actually had to go up a weight class because your body is not used to cutting and it's used to holding that weight for your kid. It's weird. It's a whole science, and you guys got to look into it. But it does take a very heavy toll on your mental and your physical, good and bad. Like, your priorities shift, a lot of stuff changes. But I'm excited to see Tempo back as a dad, and he's found his mojo back, and I'm excited. The first initial rounds are gonna be very difficult for Tempo, but I just see Tempo edge. I think his technicality and his endurance is gonna outlast Jordan, regardless if it's improved or not. I think just Tempo has it in the bag. But I do want to say with this fight, too, is it's a clear setup for Chase Demore, because I do not believe the Andrew Tate-Chase Demore rematch is happening. That is not happening at all. That's thrown in the water. It's dead. Don't have your hopes up for that rematch happening. I think Andrew's going to have a warm-up fight or an easy fight to kind of come back and hopefully has a new team. But I think the winner of this fights Chase next, and I love it. I think Jordan Banjo will be a great matchup, and I would love to see the rematch with Tempo Arts. Either one, honestly, regardless of who wins this one, I would love for either of these guys to fight Chase next. Yes, I'm going with Tempo Arts via decision. Maybe final round, like a TKO stoppage, varying how gassed Banjo may get. But I don't know. We'll have to see how he is this time around, how his camp went. So for now, I'm just going to stick with Tempo Arts via decision. And last but not least, we have Ty Mitchell versus Gabe Rosado. Woo! Talk about a match up. Now, I do have a question. Why is this not on the MF Pro card in April? My only assumption was scheduling. Like, was that the big thing? Was this a schedule issue, or they wanted this matchup specifically, but one of them, like, I would have to assume that, but it is an MF Pro bout. Like, it's a little confusing. So I would assume it's a scheduling issue. That is my only guess. Or maybe they wanted Ty to be active right now so then he can be ready for a summer bout or something like that. That's my guess, because it's still technically Q1. That is my only other assumption. It's just like scheduling or like future plans for Ty. But nonetheless, get back to this matchup here. This is a heater. This is a very, very tough opponent for Ty. This isn't no walk in the park, and I know he doesn't have the best record, but it's because he lost to the 1%ers. You know what I mean? Like, he's not losing to like Billy Dean off after a few shots of Malort. Like, like he's lost to some of the greats. Well, actually, I'll take a look at it. Yes, he has 17 losses, but again, I'm going to read his record off here. Funny enough, I actually talked about this guy. His most recent loss was to Bektimir Melikus. Remember that video I did on Canelo, the Bektimir guy? He lost to him, and that was a unanimous decision, so it wasn't a KO, so we'll take that. But again, that's a guy who's a top 10, top 5 ranked. And then he lost to Shane Mosley Jr. majority decision, Jaime Mugina. And then he actually beat Bektimir before. So He fought Triple G, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's losing to bums. Like, he's not losing to journeyman or anything like that. So, fair enough to Ty for stepping up to the plate. This is a really good test for him. Styles make fights. Gabe's going to come to fight, and he's going to put the pressure and heat on Ty. Now, if you remember Ty's last performance, first 6 rounds, he looked phenomenal. Picture perfect boxing, sweet science to the T. Then his gas tank dropped. He even admitted it. So, he was there just clenching and jabbing, clench, jab, and fair enough, and he got the decision win, and people were upset like, oh, he lost. I'm like, yeah, he lost like the last 4 rounds. He can even admit that. But like, he won the first 6. So as long as Ty's gas tank is there for all rounds, I would assume this is another 10 rounder. As long as Ty has his gas tank from round 1 to the final round, I think he can win this. I think he can win this decision. But if he gasses like he did with Sean Hemphill, Gabe's all over him, and he could possibly stop him. He could really possibly stop him. That's me just being 100% honest. I love Ty. I love his comeback. But if he gasses like he did with Sean Hemphill, Gabe's going to get him. It could be a stoppage, could be a KO, but that's when Gabe would take it. He'll smell blood in the water, and he'll go for it. And he's a fighter. He'll bite down on that mouth guard and just go for it. So, yeah, I'm rocking with Ty, though. This is a very, very tough test for Ty, but I truly believe Ty also understands how tough this fight is and how big this opportunity can be. So I think he's taking this camp very seriously, and I'm very excited to see how he performs, how he's improved. And yeah, I'm rocking with Ty Mitchell via decision. Altogether, this is a really, really great card. I'm excited to watch it, guys. I'm very, very excited. Hopefully my predictions are right, because the last one, it was not good at all. Oh my goodness. And y'all let me know in the comments too. But go ahead and let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win with all these matchups. And before you head out too, leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.